A reading from the Gospel of Luke. He entered Jericho and was passing through it. A man was there named Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and was rich. He was trying to see who Jesus was, but on account of the crowd he could not, because he was short in stature. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree to see him, because he was going to pass that way. When Jesus came to the place, he looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, hurry and come down, for I must stay at your house today." So he hurried down and was happy to welcome him. All who saw it began to grumble and said, "He has gone to be the guest of one who is a sinner." Zacchaeus stood there and said to the Lord, "Look, half of my possessions, Lord, I will give to the poor. And if I have defrauded anyone of anything, I will pay back 4 times as much." Then Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because he too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek out and to save the lost." Well, today's gospel shares with us a story in which, like many other stories that involve Jesus, things are turned around opposite of the way most people think that they would be. Instead of going home with the elite, with those most esteemed and most respected, Jesus selects a tax collector with whom to dine. And of course, this causes outrage in the Pharisees, confirming in their mind that Jesus is a no good person, because why would he choose to eat with tax collectors and sinners? And yet, Jesus did not come to cater to the elite. He came to save the lost. And so in reality, his selection was entirely appropriate, because here was this man who was a tax collector, and he obviously was showing his desire to be exposed to Jesus and to what Jesus was offering to the people that he reached out to. And he was blessed with the fortune of being selected to host Jesus at his home. And so it is with us today, that oftentimes the things that we take for granted, that we believe should be the way things work with Jesus, are often not. Because Jesus and his way of thinking differ from us and our way of thinking. And that is because Jesus is perfect and we are not, right? He is the Son of God. And when he does something, we can be certain that he is doing the thing that God wills him to do. We can't always be certain of that in ourselves, though we sometimes deceive ourselves into thinking that something that we want is what God wills for us. But Jesus truly followed the will of God. And so we can trust that when he made a decision, it was a decision that was in the will of God. We should pray each and every day that the decisions that we make too are within the will of God. For only that way will we please God and carry out his will. Amen.